Everybody is back for baseball. Full team practices started today. Now, I'm going to cover this once, and then I'm going to be done with it because everything so far that's been covered at Phillies camp has been everything but baseball, right? It's drama. It's he said this, she said that. So I'm going to talk about this once, and then I'm going to be done with it, and then just talk about baseball the entire time, rest of the season. I understand how this stuff works, right? Media, clicks, likes, shares, bringing this up. So I understand why these questions were asked. I understand it's the first time some people heard from Bryce Harper since October. So these are questions that are going to be asked, and I understand that. First thing, and the last thing I'm going to say about Nick Castellanos. From a city that coined the term, no one likes us and we don't care. Criticizing a guy who embodied that exact mentality, hilarious. Philly, there are fans who you can complain about his performance during the regular season. Postseason, I really don't want to hear much of it because out of everybody in that lineup, Castellanos showed up, one of the ones to show up the most. So don't give me shit about the postseason numbers. But it's the people and the fans of the Phillies that were complaining about Nick Castellanos that says he was rude, he was mean, he was hard to get along with. Look in the fucking mirror. That's you. That is you guys. You guys are miserable people. You guys are hard to get along with. You guys are terrible to be around. That's you. That's your city. And then you want to hate a guy who embodies that mentality. No one likes me. I don't care. That's Nick Castellanos. That's your player. But when someone does it to you, I don't like it. He wasn't nice to us. He wasn't nice to reporters. He was pretty mean. I find that so funny. That the tough city, the rugged city, we're Philly, man. We're Philly. No one likes us. We don't care. And then you have a player on your team who has some edge, who doesn't give a shit. I don't care if anybody likes me. I'm here to do my job. And then you turn your back on him for being that exact person that you are. Hilarious in my mind that some Phillies fans didn't like his attitude. Nick's got a bad attitude. So do you. So do all of you. Bad attitudes. Everyone I've ever met around here, bad attitude. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania people, bad attitudes. Miserable people. But you had a problem with Nick Castellanos. Find that hilarious. Cassie lands in San Diego. He's going to play a little bit of first base, a little bit of DH. People talking about how he's going to transition playing first base. I saw some him getting some grounders in. If you don't remember, Castellanos played third base. He played third base with the Tigers. He played Major League Baseball at third base. He's going to have no problem transitioning to play a little bit of first. Right? Him and Gavin Sheets. I think him and Gavin Sheets will probably split some time depending on matchups, lefty-righty. But Castellanos played the infield. Played third base with the Tigers. So he's going to have zero problem transitioning to play first base. I like Nick Castellanos' edge. I did. I think this lineup sometimes can be a little... I haven't seen a fire since 2022, 2023 from this team. That fire, the dog. Castellanos brought that. And I know that there's stuff that happened in the locker room that I have no idea about, that the media has no idea about. If I had to take a guess, I bet he called Rob Thompson a pussy. I bet he called him a Canadian pussy. I think it was more about the words that were said than him going to get a beer. I'm going to go get a beer and bring it in the dugout. People acting like that's the end of the world. You know what the 1986 Mets were doing in the dugout? They were doing drugs. They were having sex with women in between innings. No joke. They were having sex with women in between innings. Doc Gooden, Lenny Dykstra. Go ask the 86 Mets what they were doing in between innings. Drinking amphetamines. Okay? Keith Hernandez says he couldn't remember an entire year of his life because he was on drugs and drunk. He was so under the influence of drugs and alcohol that Keith Hernandez could not remember an entire year. Facts. So I don't think it's about the beer. The beer, it's a fucking beer, dude. Okay? Sponsors for beers all over the stadium. Nobody gives a shit about the beer. If I had to guess, which I have no proof of, I have zero proof. If I had to guess, Castellanos called Thompson a pussy in front of everybody. Because you give X and Y player, you give them the ability to do what they want, and then I got an issue, you take me out of the game, you're a fucking pussy. If I had to guess, that's how it went. If I had to guess, have no proof. But I think it was more about the words that got used than the beer itself. So that was that. I'm done talking about Castellanos. I'm done talking about that entire situation, Miami situation. He learned from it. I wish him the best of luck. I hope he fucking rakes in San Diego, honestly. Hope he does. Bryce Harper, not elite. So he spoke with the media yesterday for like 14 minutes. Long interview. And I understand these questions got to get asked because they haven't spoken to him. And a lot has happened from the exit of the postseason up until now. I think this entire situation was blown out of proportion immensely, whether it's by the media, fans, whatever. What Dave Dombrowski said, there was nothing wrong with it. Go back and listen to what Dave Dombrowski said. Go back and listen to what he said. Don't read the headlines. Don't listen to what the sports media is telling you. Go listen to the interview, what Dave Dombrowski said about Bryce Harper. He did not have an elite season. He is still an all-star caliber player. What did he say that was wrong? Bryce Harper didn't have a great season last year. That's a fact. He hit 261, 27 bombs, 75 RBIs, and he had his lowest OPS since 2016. He had an 844 OPS and an OPS plus of 129. So he was still 29% better than league average. It's a good season. It's not up to his caliber. But what Dave Dombrowski said, there's no problem with it. Put yourself in that position. You're in a sales role and you didn't hit your quota for 3 months this year. Or 2 months, whatever it is. Did you have a great year? No. He wasn't airing Bryce out. He compared him to Freddie Freeman. Where's the issue here? Bryce Harper did not live up to his high expectations. He had 27 bombs. Was his OPS 844? It's not bad. He's getting paid $25 million a year. Go look at the comps. Who else is making $25 million a year? Dansby Swanson's making $25 million a year. Do you think that's what you deserve for that season? Yeah, maybe. I don't see an issue with what Dombrowski said. I think this is all conjured up from the Philly media, fans, to give this fire, stoke in flames, so we can come up with a story and get clicks and do all that bullshit, everything but baseball. I have no problem with Dave Dombrowski said. If I was Bryce Harper, I would have no fucking problem with what he said. He said, I didn't have an elite season. He never said Bryce Harper is not elite. Didn't say that. Can he come back to form? That's what he said. He is an all-star caliber player. That's what he said. Never said he wasn't an elite player. He didn't have an elite season, which is factually true. There's nothing wrong with what he said. So this has been blown out of proportion. And now it's taken on a life of its own. And then Bryce comes out and says, yeah, that was wild. That was wild what he said. Bro, you want to hear wild? Get a couple drinks in me. I'll show you. I'll tell you some stuff that's wild, bro. Not an elite season? That's wild. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. But go back and listen to what Dave Dombrowski actually said. Because there's nothing wild about it. There's nothing wild about it. It said it's up to Bryce whether he's going to come to form again, that high caliber player, or if he's going to remain good. which is true. So that's what I think about that. Bryce Harper also said he wasn't motivated by Dave Dombrowski's quote. Liar. Not that any of this matters. Just to reiterate, I don't give a fucking shit about any of this. I care about what happens on the field. This is all fluff, social media clicks, blah, blah, blah. That's what this is. I know I'm talking about that. I don't care about this stuff, but I'm addressing it once and then I'm going to be done for the season. He wasn't motivated by the quote. Liar. Cut to him with the shirt. Not elite. Bro strategically wore that shirt, dropped a TikTok. Come on, bro. And I don't care how you respond to it, but it's just a lie. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. No, I'm not motivated. I don't need to be motivated by that. All right, bro. Okay, take the high road. Understand that. Say what you want. It's just not true. You obviously heard what he said. You took offense to it. You wore the shirt and posted a TikTok. This is we're adults, guys. This is all intentional. All this shit is intentional. You did it on purpose. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't care how I responded, but dude, just own it. Yeah, I saw it. I took exception to that. I took it as a challenge for me to return to the MVP form that I once had. And I'm taking it personal this season. So take that with what you will. He could have said that. I'm like, damn. Yeah, Bryce took it to heart. Yep. Got called out. Or I felt I got called out. And now it's going to be different this season. So that's that. That's all the drama shit I wanted to talk about. That's outside of baseball that nobody cares about. Well, a lot of people care about. Adolis Garcia, fucking jacked, dude. He might be back on the juice. Just kidding. Speaking of juice, Max Kepler, how's he doing? Yeah, everyone's reporting today. Saw some of the players, saw Stott, Bohm, all reporting. They're going to have their first team practices today. Really excited to move on from everything, all these other storylines, and start talking about baseball. Seeing if Otto Kemp is going to fit in. How's he going to fit in? Stubbs and Marchand, both of them have no options left. Who's gonna make the backup role behind JT? That's the stuff I want to talk about. You know, Justin Crawford. What are you gonna do if Justin Crawford struggles in his rookie season? Because you can't expect him to just mash, right? You're gonna expect a rookie to probably struggle at some point, and then if Marsh struggles at some point, like where are your options when things go awry? So that's the stuff I'm looking forward to talk about. Got a new, it's not a new channel, but I'm adding a new, playlist to the YouTube where I'll do just Philly stuff. So if you're sick of listening to WIP, The Fanatic, all that bullshit, come listen to here. Fan driven sports media, unfiltered. Thanks guys for watching.